your last quarter-final matchup of the day. It's XCOM versus FORZE in the opening map of Inferno. After that technical issue was resolved, we are live with the knife. My name is Protalis, and joined again, as always, am I by Louis. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm looking forward to just seeing really what XCOM I can achieve. I can't even talk at this point, but it's okay because the players can't even knife each other, apparently.
Yeah, just chilling out in mid.
We're just having a chill out session, relaxing, having some time off. XCOM we're going to win knife, so that wasn't expected.
Not necessarily, but what starts as a chilling session in mid ends up as an all-out knife brawl that eventually is won by Ago. And you can see the odds here from our partners over at LootBet. 2.05 for Ago and 1.72 for FORZE. That's showing you just how balanced this could be, with the series just tilting in FORZE's favor. Those odds, though, just for this map. Don't remember that one. Ago, they got the CT side. We mentioned that'd be important for them, but they still need to win the first few rounds and get control of their economy.
Like we said, it might be one that FORZE run away with, but FORZE have had a little bit of a mix of form lately, so there could be a chance really for Ago to come off in this event and certainly turn up maybe unexpected. FORZE, they've got the advantage on the bets provided by LootBet, and for now, Furlan will just play a little safe. XCOM with a stack up towards the A site, 4 of them there. Leaves this pole left alone in what could be an awkward scenario. That's going to be 5 players maybe approaching him now.
Has to play passively in this B bomb site. He's the only player with a kit, so it's vital he dies in a position that his teammates can recover it. Gets spotted on the way in, but isn't removed from the round just yet. His teammates who stacked the A bomb site now have to rotate in rather quickly, as Furlan is going to be under pressure on this construction angle. The Glocks are going to charge straight into him, and he's going to have a back turn to him first, but he still can't land those shots. Kit now down, but construction under control of the T side. It's all a rush from Banana, though, from Ago as they look to reclaim the B bomb site. Jerry, the first one to deny these efforts, and Flit to follow it up. Oscarish only secures one. MHL tries to save, but it is Flit to finish things off. FORZE pick up the opening pistol. That
got close, but it was one that the Russians were really looking for in the early stages. A nice clean one, and because of the bomb plant, you can't help but understand why XCOM are now forcing this out. The XCOM Ago side have a scout and some pistol to work forward. And we said that really the Orpa will be a key player to watch out for. MHL will have a scout, and you'd expect him to use that either in mid or towards Banana. He chooses the latter, and well, no one peeks instantly. That could have been damage. In fact, a repeat could have been his death. That's an AK peeking in, and for FORZE, they are hungry for what could be a quick 2-0.
FORZE want to win out this force buy from their opponents as much as humanly possible. 2 scouts up, just supported by pistol, as the SMGs can beautifully take advantage of this situation if you get them in the right angles. Put them in the wrong ones, and they can quickly be shut down by a scout crossfire here on the A-bomb site. First, get aggressive towards Archside, but he won't land even a tag with his sniper as MHL's taken down on the site. So far, no points of damage taken by FORZE as they secure round 2. The rest of Ago save their pistols over on the B bomb site. They shouldn't invest into the next one either, as it's a strong start for this Russian side.
FORZE will be happy with what they've achieved so far, and if they just play the safe game, keep these AKs, they can start to build up the bank and the weapons with it. We said it's an Ago side who probably aren't entirely favoured, but certainly have a chance to cause what could be a great upset here in our first or our last quarterfinal of the day. We'll determine second team in our second semi-final we play tomorrow. The 2 Deagles and Aziza look to be kept with armor. 70 also held on, and I wouldn't expect a force buy out of Ago coming up here. They should just go for the eco. FORZE might as well go for the bonus. Stock up on the utility, keep the MAC-10s and SMGs they've got around. See what damage Ego maybe do to you.
You're right there. No reason for those CTs to invest around the pistols they saved. Instead, hope that that body armor and kit come in handy at some point in this round. FaceCrack wants to get aggressive right off the bat with his MAC-10, charging into the A-bomb site, outside under his control, but Fiku is waiting in the wings with a deagle of his own. He might want to deal some damage with that one. It's FaceCrack to find the opening kill. Eventually, Fiku gets aggressive, and he finds extra power off the back of it. Attempting to recover now are the T side. Furlan's found FaceCrack as well, but Jerry's here with a MAC-10 of his own, but on just 23 points of health. It's still dangerous for him. B-bomb site will go under FORZE's control, but if they can somehow find Jerry, this is a winnable retake.
The close angles, they were always going to be a bit of a concern. So a MAC-10 for Jerry looks to be taken out if timing goes against them with this push towards the library, and that's Groovy at least one headshot a trade for Flip. It means one AK looks to be kept on either side now. To hiding, just trying to play it safe. He has no chance of defusing or coming off a winner in this scenario. For him, a win would be to keep this AK, and considering FORZE went for a bonus, they haven't necessarily lost too much.
Not too much that it's going to put their economy in a dangerous position. Still commendable from Ago that despite any investment whatsoever, they were able to find 3 players. They're now going to have full guns available on the board, and we finally will get the opportunity to see whether MHL is going to live up to his reputation. Extra Power has that AWP available on the T side as well, so both sides with their deadly snipers in play during round 4. Which one will end up the champion? Looks like MHL in the early instance. He lands the shot, which yields him the tag to boot. Jerry jumps through the smoke, but thankfully Fiku's there to deny with the headshot. Could have gone drastically wrong, but recovered now from Ago. FORZE, 2 players left alive with well over a minute left on the clock, but MHL's AWP has all but shut this round down.
Pace in the eye there just really hasn't gone to plan. They tried to speed it up. They tried to make sure the SMGs could do some very fast stuff, but it's not been helpful, and it's not even given them a single kill. In fact, the AK's lost. The Poles finally worked their way up the board, and it was really a bit of a concerning play. That AWP shot was really good because it actually helped ensure damage was available just to set up a quick 2-0 in terms of kills. It's a 1-3 scoreline. The CIS squad just about on top. Power and Co, they've had a quiet start, but he does at least have an AWP going forward now and might look to be able to challenge MHL.
That he might. MHL already looking like a dangerous prospect in just the 1 round he's had it all. To utilize Fiku thinking about that boiler aggression as well. Throwing the AK away. Too scary of a prospect for him though. He'll just back off, knowing he needs to support the remaining A players in close angle. MHL gets aggressive, but this time Extra Power's there to punish. Banana aggression coming through from Ago though could mess this up for FORZE. Grubby's found a kill over on the A site as well. It's a 3-on-4 situation, but Extra Power swings it back in their favor. Flit opens up with his AK as well, and Fiku now trapped towards Pit. Will have to hold strong if he wants to defend the A side.
Well, the AK looks for something. Victory. He's struggling, and despite getting 1 kill, it feels like he's come off at such a loss. It's a 1-on-2 for Oscarish, maybe to now try and clutch out. He's got an AK, some utility, and a kit available. Certainly has a great chance in trying to complete this, but it's against 2 AWPs. That's the concern. Amazar doubles up with his teammate, the regular FORZE AWPer. Now utilize a big green weapon. Peek in could be a concern. One in Pit. But at this point, I'm peeking out of Pit. You can't help but feel Oscarish the safer call entirely with his team's money a little all across the board, really.
Just has to back off they should be able to get the buy together in the next one. MHL certainly has enough cash to invest up into an AWP as well. So full buy still coming through. The T side there really bailed out by Exapower's AWPing towards that A side. They picked up 2 AWPs at the end of that one, but a double AWP T side strategy on Inferno is something that is very rare to behold. So they won't actually be utilizing it forward into this round. Definitely the right call there.
Let's see what now FORZE side can do against this. A fast player of the AWP could become dangerous if the Molotov maybe overextends. XCOM aren't going for the peak, and rightly so. If anything, if anything, forcing the Molotov out. That's a perfect reaction, and that's the speed that Z-Power and FORZE can certainly react. One player already has to rotate the AWPer for the FORZE now towards this B site. And as that makes sense, tips in, he can at least disrupt Jerry.
MHL tag, but they don't expect Furlan on top of the boxes. The third player rotating in now for Ago as they leave Fiku alone on this A bomb side. Eventually, Grubby will rotate over the defend as well, but Ago do an excellent job there to stabilize around. They could have been in a lot of danger. FORZE still have their critical AWPer alive, but now a man down. They may struggle to find a way into this B site yet.
Oh, it feels like it could certainly still cause some issues on their end. FORZE, in fact, still want to try and go for the damage, and fair enough. You can't help but blame them. It's still worth a try. Smokes go out. The AWP might just get smoked off towards Coffin, but a reposition. In fact, now playing towards start, that could be a great idea. The Molotovs are just being read, so FORZE trying to just play this off perfectly, but MHL in the fans couldn't do much more. One-on-one Angels. That's what Furlan needs now. And AWP comes off better, and with 18 seconds to play, so many angles he's got to clear, but for now, he's got a safety point of getting a bomb plant.
Indeed, they're both going to come from CT now as well. He spots them both out, has the info, but can't land the first shot. Grubby will find him instead. XCOM pick up their second, and it's FORZE now who may want to consider an eco on this T side. Just 7 rounds, realistically good enough for the T's, considering slight bias this map tends to lend to the CT side. So as long as FORZE start with a decent foray of rounds, just 2 or 3 more from them, and they could already have done what they need to in the half.
Well, Z-Power's initial shot was really nice, but at least MHM does turn up to respond. That's the key thing we've got to keep watch out for in this matchup. The AWP battles are going to be so vital, and they can certainly determine the outcomes around. MHL obviously got another one here from Fountain. It's a one and done angle as soon as you die from that, though.
You're absolutely right. Quick out onto the B bomb site. Jerry's found the first with his Tech 9. Furlan not keen to re-aggress and try and find the trades, though, as he very much worries about the danger that lies with those pistols. Early man advantage obtained by FORZE, but they still haven't picked up that rifle, so firepower perhaps still an issue for them if they want to attack any bomb site at this point. They've kept a hold of their utility successfully, but the crossfires lurking in B might still ward them off if they aren't careful. Utility.
Yeah, comes in perfectly. Furlan and Flair are just allowed to trade out. I was going to say the Coffin angle was just so vital, but players cross FORZE more or less have themselves their own B site. Now a nade shot down. It's a 4-on-3 favouring the Russian squad. And is that just a save already? There you go. They've got to go for this.
They want to contest it, at least in the early instance. The crossfire in construction should be too much. MHL does very well to bail out his teammate, and now they want to re-aggress onto the angle. Now they found the follow-up, but Jerry's here to deny it. His Tech 9's out, but it's still a one-on-one, and Exapower with the AK has given his position away. MHL knows that it's now too far gone. FORZE will end it with the round regardless. It's all about punishing the AWP if you can. It's not possible, but the force from FORZE works out despite every player falling.
Up to 5. CIS squad looking good so far on the T side, but you can't help but feel Ago almost had a chance in the retake. It was the fact that Z-Power gave away his angle at that point there that realistically, if he peeked that again, he could have been dead.
He absolutely would have. And ladies and gentlemen, you certainly won't get bored with our case partner, Hellcase. Use the promo codes on your screen to save more and grab what you deserve. 5-2 up on the T side then are FORZE. Utility, yes, limited, but firepower, certainly not. The only thing perhaps that could stop them is this AWP from MHL. Boosted up on Banana, finds the head of Exapower and takes it out of the round. Wants a follow-up as well, and he'll get it. Headshot through the wall. And that's the B contingent of this T side removed. They know they now have to pressure A. Only one kill yet found. Still leaves danger to this T side. Grubby's found Flip now as well. Only 2 AKs remain.
Well, Furlan on site, in fact, allowed to double up. All of a sudden, Ago on what was an eco. They get carried into this. Almas are not prepared for the player to the right of him in library. What a way to really react. MHL, you can't help but think he's the savior. Because if he hits these 2 shots, that first one specifically is so vital because you've killed off their AWPer. That's momentum lost, and that second one through the wall just kind of delays and denies anything else.
He was the only firepower that his team had available in that round, and he made it work. MHL was starting to see just why there's so much talk surrounding him as an up-and-coming AWPer. His team now have 2 of the sniper rifles available on that CT side. FORZE are back down to the force on their Tech 9s and pistols, looking for another fast-paced play, but Molotovs towards the A apartments are going to have to keep them slow for now.
Jerry, what do he and his team find going forward now? Because their objective would be a bomb plant. There's a smoke towards a long pick from under. Could become a bit of a stamp in this play to stop FORZE from allowing a chance to push forward. That was a kill, but that was a shooting a chicken. And Furlan, in fact, really forced under the pressure. So goodbye, Furlan. MHL, in fact, towards the library can stand strong. He's now looking for at least a 3rd kill. The Tech 9s and the Pistols, they've done so much, and this is one which Ago now have to be aware of as a potential threat.
They find Jerry, and he had an AWP to boot. Almaza can recover it at the very minimum, but in the 2-on-2, that kill was vital to find. Oscarish now on that secondary AWP can just hold and wait with the bong, and all Grubby has to do is not fall to Exapower's P250. He just has to look the right way. He's done it, and he knows he's going to be at a peak, and he finds them both. Grubby from the site saves the precarious situation from damaging Ago, keeps their economy in check, at least for the moment, and finally forces FORZE to an eco.
Taking them a while, but this is a good chance really for the Pulse to now build up maybe a bit of a chance to ensure that a win is possible. Still quite early on. So at least starting off with a 5-5 scoreline would be a ideal start pushing forward. Jerry looks forward. MHL now this time walking towards mid. Will be player looking for the damage. And for Ago, I just kind of feel like they don't need to aggress too much at the moment. They need to just play some safer angles, not get caught out by the threat of maybe a couple of P250 taps.
That's the key. Losing these rifles with their economy the way that it is, they just don't want to have to reinvest if they can avoid it. And losing those rifles to the Glocks just represents a deep cash cost that they'd rather not have to deal with. They stay passive at the start. They keep FORZE as the side who have to make moves, and with less than a minute now left on the clock, FORZE eventually decide that Ago probably aren't going to aggress into us. We need to make some moves now and finally target this A-bomb site.
It's a bit of a stack, if anything. 4 players more or less somewhere around the side. And that was damage, but it's not until Fiku now steps up along the Furlan. It wasn't a round we expected FORZE to really achieve too much from, but not even a kill to follow up on what was a death on Furland. So let's face crack with individual efforts. FORZE tie up as you'd expect, but just a bit of a crumble, an easy one for the FORZE.
Just the crossfire doing all the work. Realistically, Pistols have no chance whatsoever in that scenario. All tied up at 5-5 are the scores on the doors. And FORZE, this is a very interesting buy. They had cash for AKs in this round, and they've still chosen instead to go for the MAC-10s and the pistols. I'm perplexed for certain. Damage dealt down deep, Banana, with those HE grenades as well. Base track on just 9.
My issue was they obviously got the MAC-10s out, but I expected what should have been something like a fast play. There's the concern, and that could be a great excuse as to why the MAC-10s were brought out, but it's still going to be tough. The bomb might be available for a bomb plant. That has yet to cross, and Furland, oh, he can serve the line. That's a perfect shot and a perfect opening.
Ideal for Ago as they want to make their way into the B site before the bomb even goes down. They won't get that opportunity, not that much pace on the side, but range perhaps is what aids them as they push from construction. Extra power on the MAC-10 has to play close, and he knows it. He wish he could catch MHL off guard, but it's Jerry who gets caught with grenades out instead. Flick can't make the AK work, and Extra power, his gun doesn't have enough headshot power to its name. XCOM will get 6th after that. Very weird buy from FORZE. Lets them into B, but doesn't allow them to hold it.
It almost makes sense now since they've got a full buyout to work with. A bit of a loss bonus was building up on there, and so they just took the risk of going for the weaker buy. That shot through the smoke, pretty perfect to for some damage. MHL, by the way, 13 kills on top. Lee Power not quite leading the charge for his side, but still on 8 kills. Means the Orphans are certainly doing their bit early on, and MHL now warps up towards the mid side of the map. Keeps his opponents guessing. FORZE once again, they look hungry just to try and get banana control.
Power on such low HP thanks to that CT utility, but he's still able to find the shot. Thinning out those B defenses yet again, causing MHL to rotate over. FORZE have had more success on this side of the map than anywhere else, but that gap in the smoke might lend its way to a CT pick if they're not careful. It absolutely does. And swings it straight back into the 4-on-4, with Oscarish looking to go aggressive. This mid-push from Grubby as well gives FORZE a real dilemma now, as Ago know exactly where they're pushing, and soon enough they're going to be able to call the rotations.
These kills now have to go FORZE away if they want a chance going forward. Ago, they could do enough, and Groovy from behind, I think he's got the trigger discipline there, but they're not going to kill it. That's the bomb drop. The scout or the AWP even up close remains. Burning and Hawking and the Molotov eventually burns and falls to his death. And Ago all of a sudden now have a good lead to work with, 7-5 up on the CT end of Inferno. Now, at least in control for now, and FORZE money doesn't allow them for a full buyout.
Well, you look at what's missing for FORZE, and outside of the guns, it's the kills on Almaza. He's just on 1 so far in the map. Been unable to turn up as of yet. Now Ago are pulling away on their own map pick. Jump boost from MHL protects him from death in the early round, but he's still going to be needed as these pistols charge through the flames. It's Grubby's AK that can't stand up alone. The AWP must come through, and there go the shots. Another kill found on the A site, but more pressure to be applied. Shots go either way, but eventually they favor Ago there. doing the work at the end. They survive yet again with 4 left alive as FORZE look for the bye in the penultimate round of this first half. A very good recovery from the Polish side, considering the round deficit of which they began the half with. They can finish this on 9 or 10 rounds. That'll be a great spot to switch over to the more difficult T side.
Oh, you know what? They're going to go for a run. This is perfect. Well, it's only a tag, in fact. Z-Power almost lucky to be alive off of that. So a flash quickly towards short and a Molotov in their feet means FORZE can't be pushing or committing any of their way up towards middle. A peek by Groovy could be a concern. The lucky thing is there is a smoke, but there's a player just hiding the other side of it. They're not going to aggress. They're not quite going to go for any peeks. Again, FORZE look late towards Banana. Becoming a recurring theme now on their T side. Most of the time, recently, Ago have certainly just smoked and gone for the control. Now playing solo, and with 2 people looking to join him, Furlan now has a bit more work to do and just almost lucky to escape the blue boxes with little noise at all.
Doesn't give his angle away, and he has 2 more players ready to help him defend. FORZE, it's just a question of when they decide to pull the trigger at this point. B, obviously the target, 5 alive, but 3 to find before they can even get the bomb down in the site. Almas are going to be the first to charge round, hunting for heads, but not offered any honor plate. Grubby finds his instead, as FaceCrack will reply for 1, but Oscar up on that boost. Furlan helps him with the fadeaway. The 2-on-4 for FORZE. Exapower can't punish MHL. Causes him to overextend, and Flit on the wrong side of the map saves his AK. It's going to be more Tech 9s for the CIS guys in the next round as Ago look for 10.
There you go. On their map pick, they've certainly worked up a really good start, and this for me felt like something they had to do. FORZE's first 5 rounds came within the opening 7 of this half, and you look at that and you think, hold on, Ago now suddenly building up this momentum, suddenly building up all this pressure, and at this point now 7 in a row, could become 8. Let's FORZE strike back soon. They're going to have a rough mental attitude as they kick off the second half. They've got AKs though, that's the only relief. There wasn't a weapon in terms of a scoped weapon for Z-Power to use. But a peek in the AWP this time towards mid isn't going to be connecting anything, and that could have been something at least onto the player hiding in underpass, but luckily for FORZE, they take no damage early on.
Luckily indeed, but time and time again, these rounds, FORZE have just allowed the clock to tick down and then been chewed up by the CTs in the late round. MHL finds FaceCrack as the opener in this one as well. FORZE, their struggles on the A site continue. They seemingly have no options available. Almas is holding for this apartment's aggression. You can see he wants to swing. There's an AWP watching him. He doesn't expect to approach rifle head. So messy. MHL, who swapped onto the M4, still finds the kill. But Exapower and Flit have made their way into CT. With the bomb on its way up Banana, this could still be a B site take. He's found the flank on 1 player. He just needs to find the second here. Flit can deal damage on the other side of the map as well. Ago are going to be so surprised when these executes come through.
Yeah, Z-Power actually going to be doing Oscar pull into coffins or in towards ruins. That hasn't worked out, and so 1 player now remains on this site. And if anyone from Ago wants to rotate off the A site, they're going to be greeted by a player. Z-Power takes care of Furlan. The rotation, in fact, now going to be coming in from the Banana side of the map. MHL will be a starting point, and there is an AWP right behind him in support. And that smoke is perfectly timed, because that was the time when this Banana retake was bound to come in.
Too much time gone for them to await the dissipation of that smoke now. The boost going to give away both of their angles if the sound doesn't do it first. Flit and Exapower find them to boot. 6 rounds, perhaps the minimum possible score to FORZE to still call that first half a success, but it's the Polish side of Ago that are in the lead here on Inferno. 9-6 favoring them as MHL nearly gets 20 kills on his own in the first half. Meanwhile, Almazer on the other side of things only got 1 in that entire opening half.
Wasn't the best half for him, but if FORZE find pissed around here, they've more than got a fair chance of letting themselves fight back into this upcoming half. Of course, Rago's CT side on their map pick, it wasn't too bad despite the sluggish and unprepared start. As soon as MHL got the chance to use York, he kind of turned up better. And talking about MHL, he is forced into the engagement. Almazar, we said he only had 1 kill, he's got 2 in pistol, and all of a sudden a clean round for the CIS squad means they will take advances in the economy early on.
Clearly, Almazer's ears burning there as he triples his kills in the first half with the opening round of the second, and give FORZE the second pistol and the opportunity now to tie up that scoreline with the subsequent 2. They're going to be up against the eco from Ago in this round, and presumably that full AK buy in the next, which they could still defeat if they exploit that lack of T50.
Oh, what a nade! Flick gets 3 of them, and Z-Power just helps his teammate ensure there is a nice cleanup. Let's have a look at that nade again, because that felt clean. And if you're Ago,
from Ago's perspective, they just get wrecked. Look at that. The double nade's so beautiful.
Great start. You have to feel like that mentally tilts you. If you've got 2 nades as soon as you walk out of that ramp, and it's like, what do we do? You can't do anything against that. It's so hurtful. But what isn't hurtful is the fact Z-Power has an AWP in round number 3, a weapon. MHL can't use to a nade again. Doesn't damage to it this time. Ago in fact can get the kills. It could have been 3, but Almazar up in Banana gets 1 back, and all of a sudden there's no one left on the A site defensively.
They go hyper-aggressive on the CT side, and it does not work out. The man advantage in Ago's favor, and with FORZE split up like this, they need 1 kill to find to allow themselves into a bomb site. Flit is playing a dangerous game, jumping around here with AKs waiting in the wings to headshot him. It's his teammate Almazer, though, on just 17 that has to do all the work. He's removed instantly, and there's no chance Flit wins this one. The bonus, too eager from FORZE. Too much mid-aggression. You see exactly why CT teams don't rush mid more often.
I really wanted him to go for that, and for me to say to you, oh, you know what, actually, he wants to go for this. He's actually going to win this, but it is at least playing the safe option, doesn't want to contest it. Wants to ensure that for Ago, they will be the side to first meet and reach double figures. And 8's up. This is the point of the map where for CT side, just got to be aware of your economy. And Flitter had the sound cues. He knows there's someone there. He gets that one effectively. I don't know why. I just thought he was going to drop and land straight on his head. And I'm glad he didn't.
He could have tried for the knife. Who knows how that would have gone. It seems to always fight players in the backside when they try and get overconfident with those knife plays. Either way, FORZE in that, their overconfidence punished, and now they can still get the rifles on the board, but it's going to be the real shocker if they fall foul to this round. Ago will have the economic advantage, they'll have the score advantage, and in the second half, they'll have the momentum advantage as well.
It feels like such a good angle for an AWP really to play. They might be trying to boost. They want him, or Z-Power wanted him to sit there to boost himself up. That's not going to happen, but that nade for damage is certainly hurtful towards Oscarish. Molotov, don't know if it was intended to bounce off the wall or not. It didn't, and because of it, Almazar can at least come off better for one of them. Joey, the man, at least boosted up on top of the box. They have to play a safe game. Ago for now. Might even back out and look to see what's also happening on A, but that might not come in yet.
Bombing back Banana now, rejoining the rest of his team is Fiku as well, who wants to be part of this B execution. FORZE are going to rotate Power's AWP over towards this B site. They're going to need the remaining 2 players to get a gear on if they want to be part of this defense. Also, Power close range with the AWP. Hoping that there's going to be a gap in the smoke, or he's going to be able to win the timing. Instead, he goes aggressive and gets a tag, and then follows it up with a kill. That's huge play, as Jerry on top of the boxes looks to deny yet more entrance. Power punished this time for his aggression. So is his teammate, who gets caught out of his angle. Now, Ago have the B bomb site under their control in a 2-on-2 retake.
There's a flash and a nade available. No kits for the CT side, but there could be one to recover on the side. MHL just has the angle, so of course he was going to beat face crack there. It leaves Flit creeping in carefully and way too carefully to make an impact towards CT. They go up to 11. Now need 5 to maybe close up their home turf. Inferno isn't quite out of FORZE's hands just yet. The Wells, they've had a positive start to keep some of the momentum they gained in that first half, and if they do keep this up now, especially expected to win against this eco round by FORZE, and it could be Inferno all signed off.
Power in that last round, it's really his mistake there. It's his overextension that lose FORZE the round. Ultimately, he goes back in for the second kill through the smoke, and MHL is just obviously expecting him to do it. It's the 3rd time he peeks that angle in total, and after that they can charge in and deal with his isolated teammate, no problem. Should have stayed passive, but bygones are now bygones. Ago once again have control of the B bomb site. USPS's not doing very much towards A to say anything about it either. 12 rounds guaranteed now for the Polish side, as FORZE are in trouble on the CT side of things. Yes, it's not their map pick, but they certainly have been looking to win this one based on their statistics on the map.
Accuser's going to fall away. Well, they wanted at least to take away an A game. Amazon might have had a chance, but Z-Power, and he's just hiding in the apartments building in T-Apps. Well, he'd have to push all the way towards spawn, essentially, if they wanted to find Fiku. And Ago not really too concerned about maybe pushing to try and lose 1 or 2 weapons. Make sure he doesn't lose his, so 4 AKs and an AWP are kept, so financially positive FORZE. They'll have a 4-buy without an AWP, so that's why Z-Power drops down to the scalp.
Gonna have to be more precise now with that sniper rifle, finding heads instead of bodies, as MHL continues to impress on 24. He's far and away the highest fragger in the server. No one on his team even close to him at this point, as Jerry wants to go very aggressive down Banana. This could be punished almost imminently by Furlan, who's just on the other side of that smoke, but instead it's MHL who nearly gets caught off guard. Lands the shot though, and now Furlan pulls the trigger, but it's only good for the equal trades. 3 on 3. The bomb still under T control and looking towards B at the moment.
I don't want Oscarus to push purely because he's got the bomb, and he will have his teammates to support him around towards B. That could be the solid action. Fiku's securing that kill with Oscarus. There might have been a chance the last player hiding in Banana at least now has an AK. And if he's quick, he could so certainly catch one of these players out. But he's rushing the Molotov. No chance now. Maybe there is. I didn't think he'd find that first one. He does at least complete it. It's a 1-on-1 AK against AK. It's a Polish advantage with the utility and the health. But for Portalis, this is one that Z-Power can win.
It is indeed. Oscarish made his way to the A bomb site, which is the right call. Extra power, expecting him to switch it up and try B on for size. He has the Molotov, but this position away with it. Unfortunately for Oscarish, he misses the opening shots. That's given Exapower away into the bomb site. He's going all the way around instead, though, backing out of it. Time too far gone. Not contesting it. Ago will get 13 eventually. FORZE now in some serious trouble on Inferno.
Their money really isn't there either, so Z-Power saves a weapon, but around it, can your side fully invest in a positive buy? And it's not going to be perfect, I can tell you that much. An SMG buyout is what Joey's opted to go for. Some pistols also in the mix of that.
Certainly be looking for it. As you mentioned, FORZE, such a dodgy buy. The SMGs, the pistols, the AWP opening up first. Okay, maybe it's not a dodgy buy. The pistol's doing a lot more work than perhaps they were expected to do up Banana. Opening 2 kills found, but then recovered by Ago, who then go and drop the bomb, leaving MHL alone to recover with his sniper. What a chaotic round.
And this would be a phenomenal play if MHL can somehow come off a winner here. He's got the first one. That's Z-Power open down Spawn. Already dead, but he had to do so much more. At least individually, MHL had to find a couple more to win it. So there's a response. There's a great eco from the Russian point of view. Draws the deficit down to 4 rounds, but now a full buy won't be up against a full Ago buy. They've got AKs. Furlan is that one player dropping down to a weak SMG. But Furlan could technically just hold W and rush Banana and possibly get a kill. Who knows?
I imagine he'd be eaten up by CT utility if he attempted it. He's doing exactly what you said at the start, but eventually the Molotovs steer him away. A grenade and actually nearly punishes Exapowers or Furlan. Finds Jerry as well over towards this B-bomb site. It gets increasingly messy. It's Ago who want to use the pace of the MAC-10s to really crack into the site. It's been upgraded now onto an M4. Perfect firepower for this XCOM side, but Exapower's getting aggressive. I don't like it. He dies in this position. That's the B-bomb site virtually open. Face crack. All he can do is stay alive with this AK.
He's got so much to do. And he might have the chances in the one-on-one Angels to convert it. And Amazon can't do too much more to support his teammates' efforts. So there's at least an open B site. Fiku also lurking and might get the timing against Flit, who is hiding in CT. But look at this. They're fully expecting it. An M4 which loses. I should expect to an AK. Almazar, look behind you, mate. That's where your potential death could be. The other 2 players on site. And I think Ago have done enough for 14 now. The money might be dented to even mean that for the CT squad, they have to give up a potential 15th round, and that wasn't the plan in the second half of Inferno.
Definitely was not. Once again, is over-aggression from Exapower that gives Ago an opportunity to crack into the bomb site. 14-9 scoreline. If FORZE did choose to invest to deny 15 here, which it looks like they will do even, they wouldn't be able to have a full complement of rifles available. Blitz still with enough cash to buy. Maybe this does look slightly better than we first anticipated. It's only Jerry who has to drop down onto that MP9. Only 2 kits on the board though. Utility lacking, and Ago haven't looked like slowing down so far in this half.
Well, this round has to be positive from FORZE on this side. There you go. You hit the nail on the head. They've not turned off at any point. A couple of rounds FORZE have had advantages, but it's really just been Ago looking unstoppable. And I believe it might be a struggle if FORZE don't avoid potentially any flashes in. It's minimal utility, but 2 up close. They could consider a boost, but that is a loss for Z-Power, which you wouldn't expect normally in towards Boiler. Amazon does at least trade out. The SMG might stop some bullets and pushing in Jerry. Oh, it could be 2, and it is. Perfect stuff as FORZE now look to recover in this series.
Heroic effort from the individual. Grubby can't answer back either, leaving Fiku isolated in second mid. He gets double dinked by Flit as well, put down by that double tap, and it actually works out well for FORZE. They've managed to drain that T-side bank, and our betting partners over at LootBet have updated the odds somewhat. Ago still heavily favored to win this map with the 5.05 from FORZE. They could make some people very happy if they dismantle this force buy, because they could be in a good position to tie up the scoreline after that.
It was also a perfect time also for FORZE just to keep themselves in it, because if they'd have lost that, their money would also have been gone. So it's a lucky escape from what could have been a loss. There you go. Their intention here will at least be damage and a bomb plant. That'd be the best outcome. The ideal outcome is a win. But a minimum objective for me would at least try for your bomb plant, boost your money. They've more or less committed it in terms of weapons as well, but that's not a shot for Amazon really to miss. On the 2 AWPs, FORZE now have. Utility running somewhat low for both sides, and as the last of it now starts to come in, this AWP needs to be in a good angle.
Jumps up on top of the coffins for that wider arc of fire. Can't land the shots though. Almaza whiffs several in the round. Now the pistols make their way in. His supporting rifle has been decimated. He has to land something soon. He's being rushed by a Tech 9 and gives away his sniper. FORZE, they did not want to lose to this. Bomb site given away. 3 riflers over from A with the job of retaking. If they lose, it'd be 15 to 10 down with no money to buy. So they have to give it all away. Almaza misses critical shots in the round, allows A go in. And now they're 1 round away from taking us to Mirage.
At least Ago have turned up on the map. FORZE might now have to think ahead to what could be a map which could knock them out. Credit to Ago for certainly stepping up. There was no team clear favourites going into this necessarily, but Ago, they've done the hard task of at least ensuring their map pick isn't going to be lost too easily. Or at least they'll hope not, as they look to avoid a loss here. It would be overtime if FORZE want to come back into this, so 1 out of the next 5, what the polls need. MHL back on the AWP, Z-Power the same, and these AWP battles, they're going to be so huge.
They absolutely are. MHL certainly been looking like the stronger AWP, but recently Furlan finds one of the aggressing CTs in Banana. He'll get them both, in fact, and Flick. He's the only man on the other side of this smoke. You can see he wants to open fire. He's got teammates assisting him now in the B bomb site, but as he stays on the forefront of this smoke, what can he find? Only 1 kill is not enough for FORZE, who now rely on Face Crack and Exapower to bail them out of the round. Face Crack's here on the B bomb site with the AK. He has to get at least 2 if Exapower wants a chance of retaking the B bomb site. There's the first, looking for the second, but he's full blind behind the fountain. They'll take him out, and it would have to be a 1v3 from the Russian AWPer to stay in map 1.
No pressure then. Z-Power, it feels like too much work to really achieve. He was expected to be one of these top players, 15 kills, one of the quieter ones, in fact, on this Russian lineup. Clearing his angles, doesn't he want to switch out to a rifle or an M4? Clearing the angles, making too much noise. There you go, have it. MHL will convert and confirm it. So a 16-10 score and 1-0 up.
Indeed, it is. Ago winning their own map pick there. A prospect that perhaps looked slightly unlikely considering the number of rounds after that first half, but eventually they do manage the comeback on Inferno, and that puts them in a good position for the rest of the series, but it still looks dangerous on Mirage, Louis. There we are then. FORZE need the reverse sweep in our final quarterfinal of the day in order to make it out to the semis tomorrow. We'll have the action on Mirage ready to go for you after this quick commercial break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Very shortly, we will have map 2 of today's last quarterfinal ready to go for you on Inferno. It looked in the first half that it might be a balanced affair, but Ago eventually dominating their own map pick and picking up the win. Now, it is, of course, Forza's turn for their own pick, and Mirage lies ahead. My name is Protalis, and I'm joined again by Louis to discuss this matchup. How are you doing?
But hold on a minute, Ago now might be heading into one of our worst maps of Mirage, and that wouldn't be the ideal intention if they wanted to close us out in a 2-0 series. FORZE, they've played this map 22 times competitively, 22 maps, 51% win rate, and that's compared to a 17 maps played, 24% win rate compared to the Ago side. So certainly wide open, and certainly one that can certainly head towards Dust 2 as a decider, I feel.
It certainly could, but there is still a chance for Ago to 2-0 this series. Yes, it's not the ideal map for them to be heading into, but FORZE struggling today. They've been having a poor day of match form, and the last time these teams faced against each other on Mirage, it was an overtime victory for Ago, one of the few that they have to boot. So in theory, there's at least a chance for this Ago side. It's a question or not of whether FORZE are actually going to wake up on their own map pick and try and make it into these semi-finals. They looked somewhat lost on their CT side of Inferno.
It felt like FORZE almost had a chance on Inferno, but as soon as Ago started to warm up, as soon as they got into that opening half of Inferno, then FORZE weren't really given a chance to comprehend. And Z-Power and Joey, they had their individual moments, but it just wasn't enough. They had an Almazar player going into the second half with only 1 kill in 15 rounds. So that kind of explains part of the reason why FORZE just didn't really seem to be there. But we've got a new map. It's a fresh start for all these players, and certainly one which FORZE have a chance of fighting back in for. But it's again that sort of map where tournament pressure is on the line. If you lose here, FORZE, that's going to be you out of this quarterfinal, and suddenly Ago through to that semi-final against X Smash tomorrow.
You're absolutely right. Almas are in that first map, not really coming through strong enough. And in case you wanted a recap of this playoffs bracket, here it is there. Sora and Nordavind, your 2 champions from the first 2 quarterfinalists. They'll be facing off in tomorrow's opening semi-final. And X Smash versus whoever claims victory in our series will be your second semi-finalists. Ago hoping to do it in 2 maps, but obviously FORZE needing that reverse sweep. If they did get it onto Dust 2, it is really up in the air. That one, a very balanced battleground for the 2 sides, but we have to look forward to Mirage first. And when talking about that particular map, we can talk again about the AWPers now that we saw them on Inferno. It was really MHL who shone strong.
Yeah, Z-Power just wasn't given the best opportunity to really utilize the AWP. When he had chances, we saw that individual flick, at least early on in the first half on Banana, but we now start to consider what's going to be Mirage, our next, just getting prepared into the 9th round. For me, you'd want CT, but it's become that stage of the meta where it's so open either side, and if you're good at it, you can go on and win.
I think the statistics indicate that you want to start the T side just in terms of average round success at the moment on Mirage. And I think the reason for that is the opening CT economy. It's something on this map that I feel very strongly about in the first 5 rounds. As the CTs, realistically speaking, unless you win something like 3 or 4 out of those opening 5, your economy can just be so wrecked at the beginning of the first half that it can be incredibly difficult for you to even get in an opening position, get those early rounds on the board, and you end up staring down horrific scorelines like 6-1, 7-1 before you end up ever getting anything on the board. So FORZE starting off on this CT side, once again, it's going to be that money game that's crucial early on.
We saw it over on Mirage in the early stages. Smash, when they started the T side of Mirage in our earlier game, they just didn't really have a chance. It was the CT economy which was lacking for them in the first half. So off of that logic, you're right. Whoever starts CT, if they don't get their act together early on in terms of getting rounds and kills up quickly into their favour, then it could be a bit of a concerning start. Rating the final few issues ahead of this one, and it's a big one if you're FORZE, because 16 rounds lost mean that could be you eliminated.
It certainly could. They don't want to be out the running at this point. $25,000 available for the winner of the grand finals tomorrow, and obviously nobody wants to be missing out on that opportunity, least of all FORZE, who are our last team potentially facing 2-0 elimination today. They struggled to an extent on Inferno, particularly in that second half, and now they need to prove that they do have some fight to bring to this series if they want to avoid elimination from Ago. They are still favored here from Mirage, according to the odds from our partners over at LootBet. Ago with the 2.3 odds. They were not the favorites to win on Inferno either, but they still managed to claim victory there.
No pressure here, but for FORZE, if they lose this, it'll be 4 maps in a row this afternoon that they've lost, so they certainly need to get at least something won if they want to at least reset their confidence going future into their tournaments and events. And Flip's aggression with Face Crack is certainly unique and not something you see often, but there's at least an initial opening kill.
They push for it and secure it from ramp, but Ago are gearing up towards this B site execute. Exapower desperate for that headshot as well, but he has to back off after he misses the opening peak. Instead, it's Flit who finds it onto Fiku. And FORZE now very much in control of this pistol. It's not the fast-paced one that you usually see on Mirage, but nonetheless, it's going the way of the CTs. Utility prep towards the B bomb site, as only one of the remaining 3 T players actually has body armor. They begin to charge in. Almaza hunting for heads, but can't find any in the early instance. Bomb still needs to go down on the site, and Exapower, for now, on the wrong side of the smoke.
What a peak by Furlan. In fact, I didn't think that would be a win for the Poles, and they've got to again keep finding the kills back in their favor. Z-Power and Furlan and Oscarish, they do trade out, but it's down to this solo Pole left to find 2, one on short, the other at the back of the site, and they're not peeking for him. He doesn't have the advantage. A great bait means for at least the Russian squad, they're going to collect and convert pistol rounds very early on.
They will do so, and obviously the favorites here on Mirage, must-win situation for them, claiming the pistol. Just going to help in that particular endeavor. They get the guns out, but the T's buy straight up as well, as 3 kills and a bomb plant is enough to get plenty of Galils out on the board, and we know they can stand up to the firepower of those scouts and MP9s. FORZE not out the woods yet, and Ago can still take the early advantage in the half if they win this round.
Well, I was working out who was going to take the scout. MHL is going to keep it. So the AWPer just keeps control, and it's going to be Face Crack left alone with an SMG. In fact, under the Palace would. Jerry with this M4 could so easily step up as this utility now starts to get sent out. Point for stairs and connector. Face Crack still yet to be undetected from under. As Furlan tries to push up, there's a player in that smoke. Keep watch, because Jerry and Face Crack, they had to trade out, and it's lucky, but it's still an advantage that goes towards the Russians.
Another 2-on-3 for Ago, but Grubby's equalized now with his Galil, and MHL was thinking about doing more scout damage, but instead putting the bomb down is more important. Dodges that shot from the sniper and lands the follow-up headshot onto Exapower, leaving Almaza alone on the A-bomb site. Players now either side of him. He's unaware of the location of the second, taking scout tags, and eventually finished off by the Galil. Ago win out the force and make an early statement on Mirage by recapturing the economic advantage.
The map, which we said earlier on, Ago haven't been too comfortable on so far this past few months, and if they can boost the economy early on, if they can get damage done, and for the FORZE CT economy, that could be a concern, especially in these initial stages. So a scout, Z-Power will have that. Not quite any scoped weapons for the Poles. In fact, what looks to be quite a standard setup for the site of A, which includes a jungle, stairs, and CT smoke. Molotov, I think Furlan was considering it for sandwich, but nonetheless, it's like 1:30 to go. And the flash is a good start, but nothing there for Jerry to pounce upon.
There is no counter from the FORZE side. MHL finds yet another kill with his AK and Flint's 5.7. Denied any kind of impact on this A bomb site. FORZE now with the right mind to back out of this situation. You can see Exapower trying to get into the window with his scout. Not able to accomplish it just yet. Furlan's found the first, but can't get the second with his map 10, which looks for even more damage does the scout. It doesn't get anything though. XCOM Ago, they pick up the third round of the map, their second in total. They break the force from FORZE and now have a real opportunity. They'll be getting 3-1, you have to expect, virtually uncontested at this point, and then it's up to the gun rounds from then on out.
For the CIS squad, it's a pretty ineffective and useless force bomb. The Eagle. But no rush for Ago, a default from their point of view. Lots of presence really towards Palace going forward. And I think all 5 might either be towards ramp or towards that Palace angle. And I love this boost. It's not a common one, but it's one which could help give them some advantage. And Almazar did get the initial kill with Fiku Falls. And it's XCOM Ago who now have to respond.
The only Deagle on the board finds the first headshot. He's looking for more damage too. It'll actually get some, but now it looks to be all over from Ago. Oscarish puts the final bullets down, and it's a costly one against the hard eco, but still a victory nonetheless. It's going to draw reinvestment out, including the purchase of an AWP, which was a necessary investment in this round anyway. And the Ago bank, not perfect. They'd still be able to muster a buy with a loss, which the same cannot be said for their opponents.
Steve Howe, I would say he's going for a bit of a risk, but MHL attempted the boost, wanted it, won't quite be allowed to do anything else with it. And again, it's Ago a bit more interested in what could be the A site. Whether they've done any research before or just feel a bit more comfortable heading to the site early on. That's a good trade by Groovy at least. Keeps us in very quickly a 2-on-4, which FORZE might have just cleaned up now.
Very quickly dealt with as Oscarish now tapping onto the A-bomb site, but not finding anything. Exapower's AWP finishes it off, and what an excellent little position that was up towards Palace. Orpa supported by the Rifler, who eventually didn't get the work done, but the recovery comes through nonetheless. XCOM Ago, they get the buy together, which is what we expected them to muster, but now they are under economic pressure from the CTs, who can still be broken themselves with a victory, but the fact they managed to survive with 4 alive in the last was just great for their bank.
Molotov quickly towards top mid. Ago with aggression and a great idea. In fact, Furlan falls, so a massive advantage. Quickly cut short. Look at Oscarish. He might even get the third AWP from behind, but that's a great reaction. Z-Power at least fights back so quickly. A 3-on-3, but so quickly the B site could become lost, and for Ago, a massive chance to now work towards 4.
They have the B bomb site under their control. It's a 3-on-3 retake. FORZE to consider, and Almazar does not land the opening headshots. Now, utility dumped in market to further slow the CT advances, but they will continue to make their way in nonetheless. Apartments, the first place to be pushed by Flit, who's trying to draw all the attention over to himself. He's found his kill, so is Almazar, leaving MHL alone. The hero of Inferno now left to clutch it on Mirage. First player pushes him, he lands the rifle spray, and Orpa now facing his opposite side. One-on-one situation, he peeks out and beats Exapower. 3 kills for him as Ago. They can rely on this Polish legend of MHL.
I don't think FORZE, though, can rely on going for a force by this round. Their money all over the place. MHL, that was a 1-on-3 in the end, and that was individually and so well coordinated as an individual effort. This third peak, this final one, was so effective. It was so dangerous, but high risk, high reward. Means it's the holes ahead.
Just swings out and hits the headshot. What more can you ask for in that situation? FORZE They picked up one M4, extra power with enough to buy an AWP in the next round. It's just pistols to support that rifle, though, as Ago look for their way in, this time to the A-bomb site. And with a Zeus waiting in the wings in Palace, that's in the one-and-done spot for sure. But the fire will force it away at the moment, as the rest of Ago look to push in. Jerry full blind from the flashes. The scout not finding its target, unfortunately. And it's just the rifle and pistols now to try and hold on as they get tagged through the smoke. It all falls away.
If you're the M4 at this point, if you're Flit, you're looking to save the M4, and he at least now starts to escape, but I think they just spotted him run away. The chase is on to maybe take this M4 out of play. Hiding in the corner. I surely expected. That's a nice peek. That's so well understood. 3-round lead. And here is that economic issue.
That is the economic issue we were talking about. But before that, we can mention once again our case partner, Hellcase, the most well-known opening market on the website. All about there. They've got updated case battles, upgraders, dozens of giveaways, and absolutely loads more unique features. But FORZE, they don't have loads more unique options in terms of their defenses. They force up indeed. They get the rifles out. Jerry has to drop down onto an MP9, and Ago are already on the way to B.
Well, Z-Power, goodbye. He doesn't want anything to do with the site, but still is allowed to find an initial frag, and he might double up. If an Ago player really pushes this angle, it could be his death, and that's the time. But that's a perfect shot. In fact, MHL falls, and this retake certainly can come in now.
Fiku's found the AWP, though, leaves it in the 3-on-3, and the crossfire from Grubby's good for at least one. Oscarish turns around as well at the right time. There goes Facecrack, leaving Exapower alone with his AWP. Can't even convert onto one. It's quickly dismantled by Ago on the defense. The force is dealt with, and they have to go back down onto pistols.
Not going to be the best round once again. Ago taking advantage of this poor CT money and more or less building the confidence. And this was that same issue we saw X smash when they played this map earlier. They ended up losing 5-10 at the halftime. It was similar in the sense that it was a quick advantage to the T offense. Oscarish, how is he not dead? So many players pushing in. PC50 is at least a winner. Joe's got one more, and what? To be fair, for this pistol buy, FORZE have done so much more than they were expected to.
That's the nightmare now. Furlan flashed off. The P250 rushes in, and the full eco takes it from FORZE. A mid-rush from the CTs is all you need for a round on Mirage, apparently. Shock blow dealt to Ago. They can still get a buy together, but that round virtually stolen from the CTs.
At least it's not massively affected the Ago economy. They can still buy out an AWP and weapons, but you can't help but think whoever loses this, the money gonna be limited. FORZE won't be affected as much, but Ago, unless they get an entry here, that could have spelled some form of disaster. Lucky thing is, then, no shots connect.
Fortunately, they do not. Ago remain passive. They understand how significant this round is for them. Jerry turns away from the flash, and he's able to get a headshot because of it. Nobody else wants to aggress mid from this Ago side now. It's the 4-on-5 off the back of that opening CT kill. Fiku wants aggression onto A, and he's found a reply onto Exapower. Opposing AWP removed, and Grubby wants to get aggressive as well. He creeps ahead of that Molotov into the dark position, but Olmaza has the opportunity to swing advantage back in his team's favor. Furlan creeps out of B, doesn't peek for any players on the site, and just dies to a defender.
Well, unless we see a Ago kill back now, I don't quite see a chance in which they have a chance to hold on to this. The one down for additional support. But minimal utility available to hold on to the site. Jerry with an opening towards stairs certainly means this should be a chance now for the Russians to now maybe take advantage towards Ram as well. Vicky even smoked off, so both smokes used, both angles out of the position. We're not quite going to stick it there. A little bit concerned. This is where Face Crack now steps up, and they more or less got it.
Yeah, as soon as those smokes come through from the CTs, Ago know they have no chance at holding on. The defuse can just occur because both of their angles have been completely smoked there. Check this shot out from Fiku, though. Beautiful little adjustment to make their way in. They're just unable to hold on to the site, unfortunately. And FORZE now on the CT side, beginning to come back into it, but Ago still have the guns out because of the 2 rifles they saved forward. They can still keep putting T rounds on the board, and they want to do it with a contact play on the B side.
Well, the smoke effectively not going to do anything. I think FORZE wanted at least some aggression off of that. Either Flit or Almazar wanted to push towards it, but from a fast play towards B to a fast play towards window, Furlan, he could even sneak towards CT. Okay, I didn't realise the window was blocked off. Oscarish, it's only one in fact. Flit on short, at least tags up. XCOM back with an advantage, a minor one with it. But Groovy tagged up and potentially falling to his death shortly could mean that the CIS squad could get an advantage, and that's perfect.
Almazar makes that work and brings it back into the 3-on-3. Furlan's opened up and Fiku's replied. Almazar's left alone on the A site with 12. He knows his chances at winning this one are dashed with the A site falling, and his team's economy a bit of a mixed bag. Jerry on nothing, but him and Face Crack both on over $6,000 means that they're definitely going to buy up into the next, get some dropping occurring to try and balance out that economy. And as we enter into now the final stages of the first half of Mirage, Ago with the real opportunity to dominate this first half with the victory in the next round.
Seven, 4. Of course, XCOM still 1 map ahead. Inferno started off almost a little bit like this with control and fast aggression. And there you go with that early advantage more or less being replicated here. And this is where we've got to see a FORZE turn out. This is a team, FORZE, also, who probably came into this a little bit more favoured in terms of their history as a lineup and an org. I've not seen too much recently from Ago, so I didn't fully know what to expect, but they are certainly turning up strong. They're making this look a little tougher than it should be. Finalo, a fast one. It's going to be a player in Flit up close on short. Finalo, the AK's crossed into ladder room, and I'm not sure if Flit's aware of that.
Doesn't appear to have the information just yet, at least. Oscarish can punish off the back of that, but he's going to give his position away with that smoke. Still wins the gunfight, though. That's what's critical. He can just keep making noise over towards B. They need to catch players out of position. Actually, they do on the A bomb site. They leave it in a 2-on-3, but Exapower's still sat around. He's still in CT with his AWP. MHL on the opposing side. But to punish his peak once again, though. Almazar all but has to back off at this point. Finds damage, eventually converts the kill, and will be cleaned up by Grubby towards the end. Ago on 8. With every round from here on out, a bonus on their T half.
I wouldn't call it a bonus if they want to build up momentum and if they want to build up potentially a chance to 2-0 this series. Again, maybe a team I didn't expect to turn up strongly are certainly turning up in one of the more dominant fashions. Credit to them for keeping this close and making it tough on their Russian opponents. It's going to be an open 4-way case nonetheless. Up against that, some improved pistols compared to their spawning ones. Nice little talk comes to an end. But remember, this is the sort of time where as a CT you can maybe now start to bite back. You can maybe win or pick up an eco. You can just save your economy to maybe cement an 8-7 half. There you go, now look to maybe deny this. MHL will be the first contact in towards middle.
We'll try and use that pistol towards mid, but just can't convert it into a kill, at least at this point in time. Ego at risk if they decide to continue to push mid. The pistol is never more dangerous on Mirage than when they're in that mid angle, seemingly. And Ego seem also aware of that one as they head over to the A bomb site with enough utility to stop FORZE from being able to contest in the early instance, and theoretically enough to keep them out of that bomb site as well. Jerry's the man under balcony with his deagle, and Ixapower holds it towards CT as well. Now in firebox in the advanced position. They have to hold against this.
It's slow. The Molotov hasn't been good enough to force Jerry out, and now he can push in, and that's so good in terms of the damage he's really achieved. Groovy managed to get the kill back, and that's a perfect peak to ensure Z-Power can't do anything. The lineup, oh, that's so strong by the AWPer. MHL, we said he was going to be so impactful, and I don't know what Flit and Amazon can do, both coming from behind one palace, one ramp. But the only advantage is no one from Ego was looking towards ramp until now.
What a heroic shot from MHL there. The angle that FORZE actually have on that CT smoke could have given the Deagle the opportunity to find the bomb carrier and yet another. They'd lined up in the site. If he'd have spammed through the smoke, there could have been multiple kills garnered on that CT side, but it's MHL's AWP that puts a stop to that, and Grubby's entrance into the site that actually gives them something to work with. Blitz had two players walk straight past him, so he'll clean those up, and the third himself, showing everybody just why the 5.7 is the best pistol you can own on the CT side. You'll get them all at the end even. Finally, it feels like I've been singing that gun's praises for a reason.
It's so funny just to look back on. It looks so easy. Credit. And at least boosts his tally. That AWP removal was also probably the most vital one, because they still have an AWP, but it's got minimal utility for support, and it doesn't even have full armor. In fact, no one for Ego Doom as we approach a clinical stage of this half. FORZE on the upside and the flip side do have two AWPs to play with, M4s also, but look how low they are on utility if they're forced into a retake. It's a stacked A site with no mid presence. Well, split on short is at least something, but Ego aren't in a rush, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and again approach this A site, which has worked so well before.
3 men stacked in the site to defend, with Flit holding the short angle, hoping that he'll be able to fire through connector and find advantages that way. Ego, with so much time left on the clock, they're not keen to just walk into this FORZE defensive setup. They'd rather try and get some mid control, keep players in that region of the map so that they can split in instead of being trapped in the same channels of attack. They're going to go down, underpass our Grubby and his teammate. They're going to look to reunite with the team for the A split.
Well, it's got to be an A split now. That smoke is well timed, and as Furlan pushes, he's only alone. There's no support. That Furlan, there was no communication whatsoever. That's so good that Groovy can at least trade out, but they've not cleared the A side. The bomb is dropped, and just one-on-one angels are giving Jerry and Z-Power the chance to now wake up and maybe ignite what could be a 9-6 half. The money is there for the CT side. The money not available to the Polish squad. Look at that.
That's the issue. It's the money. But potentially for FORZE, they could be in trouble because they've gone for a double AWP setup. And the one thing those double AWPs are weak to is fast-paced SMGs and pistols getting right up in your face. And that's exactly what Ego are going to have in this round.
That nade could be good for damage. Look at the damage on that Furlan and Viku. They're so low, but they're still allowed the duels. Jerry, there might be one more to find. Furlan just puts an end to that little play and bit of damage. And for an eco, they might do quite well, but they need a bomb plant to really cement something. They can't go save, and that's a missed shot, which you don't expect often.
You certainly don't, but they've still not been able to cross onto the site. Almaza can clean this all up with the M4. MHL will rush into him, get one kill at least, but his Tech 9's out of ammo. He's got to pick something up. And he can't reload it in time. FORZE will get their 6th at least, but the shock factor is Ago. 9 rounds on the T side of their opponent's map pick. They have the 3-round advantage heading into this second half, and the opportunity still to 2-0 the series.
Well, you say 2-0 the series, FORZE. That's a perfect time to really react and come back towards a 5-6, not a 5-6, a 9-6 half even. And although some of the engagements at the end were sloppy, FORZE will still take it. Any round is a round in itself. As we now switch over, it's got to be a FORZE win.
Well, the odds now heavily in Ago's favor. 1.38 from our partners over at Lootbit there, compared to FORZE's 2.9. Certainly swung the other way. This pistol round would be amazing at helping them come back into the game. They want to sell the fake over on the A site, but they have to get some kills for order for that to be successful. And so far, they've just lost all of them. The remaining 2 players rushing over towards B, but Oscarish is putting a stop to it himself. The only man here so far for Ago, and there's just 1 T left to find his way in. It's all denied for FORZE.
Well, there's the start that the Ago side wanted for right from the start. MHL 15 kills, Groovy 16 kills. That was a player you don't hit too much of, Groovy, but he's certainly stepping up when it's required most. And Amazar, you could say the flip side of that. He had, again, a quiet one on Inferno. Certainly turning up when it's needed most, but you wonder if it's too late. 3-round gap becomes 4. And with minimal utility on this XCOM 4 spy against the FORZE Eco, the M4s could do heavy amounts of damage, and already clearing mid. Viku knows that it's going to be either a play deep in apartments or over towards ramp.
Absolutely. FORZE, they call the smart eco here, sell the fake over towards B, explode out onto the A bomb site. All we have to do is get a bomb down so that we have extra items to buy in the next round. Flip from underpass, already removed by this M4, and Ruby will get yet another without taking a single point of damage. The scout of MHL now doing work on the A site. Has to deny the plant and gets that job done. Oh, what? Okay, MHL, there's no need for that. It is an anti-eco after all. Jeez Louise, 11-6 now for the Polish side as FORZE look for their first buy.
I want to see this again. Oh, and this one. That's it is.
Ridiculous. That's
How
ridiculous.
does he know that?
What's going on there? MHL definitely a player to watch on the snipers.
Well, he's the AWPer for XCOM Ago for that specific reason. Now, there isn't a scout or an AWP for the T side to work with. Instead, the AKs, that's what they'll choose to work with in mid. 2 already behind the boxes. Viku. I expected him to hit anti-flash. He didn't even get flashed in, but that's still a great opening. He gets flipped, was blind, but at least trades out.
As MP9 finds an AK, the issue for the CTs is that there's a scout and an SMG still to defend against the full rifle buy from FORZE. They want to attack A. Yet again, they want to do it with a connector heavy setup, but so far it's working out. They lose players 1-1, but the scout of MHL, it's spotted in the corner. The barrel gives him away, and that should be the A bomb site. All but secured for FORZE now on the T side. Ago, if they want the opportunity to reply, they have to get perfect kills here.
They've got kits, but the weapons not available to both of them necessarily. And Amazar already has the able to maybe take out the M4, so the better weapon gone, the rifle eliminated. Fairland now looks to just trade out, and it is an AK just trying to escape. Doesn't require a nade, just the SMG. Easy boost, easy jump up, just showing off at this point. He gets even an AK.
A bit of a show off, why not? Covers that AK, which obviously he's going to be thankful for, and finds the kill towards the end of the round while completely blind as well, so might be even a little bit more thankful for that one. the bonus at the end there, the saved rifle forwards. Could it lean its way to a full buy in this one? Perhaps it can. The save from Ago working out. And an interesting little stat here for you, Louis. FORZE, on average, win just half of their T rounds, 50.7%. So you look at the number of rounds left in this map, that's 11 in total. 50% of that, 5.5. 7 plus 5.5 does not equal 16. FORZE are going to need an extra special effort on Mirage here to stay in the series.
I'd love to see what your maths results were, because that was quicker than I could ever do maths. For now, a deep smoke. It's going to be, well, a fake, if anything, towards B. Well, they've used that utility down. They've used smokes also for short, so you'd expect to bait, and it does work out for the rotation, but Fiku still comes off better. It's his 10th kill, but it's a vital one with it, because if FORZE now want to rotate towards A, it's a possibility, but they've also got to be aware now of behind, and Flit, I think, is considering it.
Flit knows that these A-side players haven't made their way back yet, and Saturn Sandwich, he wants to use this position for maximum impact. Here's Vico and kills him, looks up but can't convert the second player. The vital kill for Ago found as Oscarish on the B bomb site now. Have to look for Olmazer as well. Lurking around, he actually finds the opening headshot, now on just 5 HP. Furlan will look to put a stop to him. Instead, MHL deals the damage, but the rest of FORZE are on their way out mid here with the bomb in tow, and they're going to storm into the A site.
On Molotov in, Jerry for now. He's done what he's had to do. Groovy, do they clear him? They do, in fact. I didn't know if that was a kill, but it's a massive one that FORZE now gain off of it and flash in towards CT, where at least one of the retaking players are. There's MHL with a peek, which isn't a kill. In fact, Furlan, he's got a chance in his 34 HP. Is how much health that is left on the face crack player towards CT. And he's looking for kill number 7 as Furlan looks for kill number 12. A tap and a fake. And it's good enough to bait out face crack. That's insane. And that might be the reason why Ago knocked FORZE out of this tournament.
Swings around on that last kill, and the 1v2 is his. A common theme of this series, it feels, is clutch victories from Ago. Their individuals showing up when it matters. Look at this from Furlan. Beautiful opening shot, and then with the bomb ticking away, he has no utility to work with, so he's actually in a bit of a tough spot. Thankfully, he knows the position of his opponent at least and is able to remove him from proceedings. It's just pistols and utility for FORZE now as they want pace to win them this round on A, but the SMGs could still put a stop to it.
Well, the SMGs, especially up close, can be a real concern. If anything, Groovy on this side now look to take out what is some upgraded pistols, and that's a real big risk, but it's a brilliant reward gained from it. Face crack finds Groovy, and now for FORZE, they at least get a bomb plant.
Thankfully for Fiku, he'll find Jerry, but Face Crack's Tech 9 is not done yet. Blind and through smoke, the spam awards a kill. Almaza picked off from CT. This is where it gets interesting. 3-on-3 situations. These rifles can't afford to lose anymore. And here we go. Fiku recovering for now, but an AWP's been recovered by Face Crack. He does not have the angle on the diffuser any longer. He charges in with his Tech 9, knows he just has to find the planter, but can't even get that. The bomb down at least in the force for FORZE, but Ago pick up 13 now. The CIS side in serious trouble and at risk of elimination.
They genuinely are. You thought that was their round, given that early confidence, but it's Fiku just who did so much work individually. As soon as the AWP was given to Face Crack, he just didn't necessarily have a chance to convert anything. None of the shots connecting, and if it wasn't for Furlan, that bomb wouldn't have got defused.
Simply not now, as FORZE have the full buy available. MHS's AWP can't find any early damage onto it just yet either. Almas is now going to get pushed up by Fiku as well. This could be a bit of a mistake. Eventually won out by the AK. Now from short, Furlan replies. One of his own on to Jerry as extra power swings the advantage back in his own team's favor. FORZE, they really want a way into this A bomb site, but Grubby can still put a stop to this from Palace. if he goes big enough.
Well, Groovy alone has to do so much more work and needs to get just the timing on the angles, and it should be an angle they just clear up, but they just don't. Face crack eliminated. No time to defuse or deny the bomb plant. Amazar gets one, but that's a confident peak. That's a 2-on-2, which Fairland and Ago have fit themselves in for. And unless FORZE win this now, well, it's going to be tough luck. The bomb planted for short, which means Z-Power can lurk in from behind. And I'm wondering if XCOM are going to be prepared for this.
2-on-2 to situation, time ticking away. Orc now on the flank, finds the opening kill as well. Furlan with too many angles to worry about. It looks like an impossible task for him. He's just going to try and contest the AWPer fighting in mid. Won't even get that one. FORZE put themselves on 8. The CTs cannot afford to buy. They're on one of their first ecos in the half. Some space now for FORZE.
No, I saw the money that Groovy had. They have to or force this round, or else a couple of them would have been double eco. I thought they were going to force it. And yeah, that's an AWP on Furlan. Glass cannon, by the way. And that's
just have to drain it.
Yeah, it's chaotic. Z-Power. Big if he wins this. Amazar up closer against Viku. It should be an AK win, but just doesn't have the confidence to peak or overextend, or rather, that's a safe option.
The main positive round is that B Apartments control and the recovered AWP. There's now 2 of those available on the AGO defense, and considering that this is supposed to be an eco from them, a force just to dump all the money they can get, this looks a little bit dangerous. Furlan, if he can get one more with his AWP here, there's a huge opportunity. Unfortunately, he misses it, though. And at what point do they rotate that second AWP over?
Well, they're not looking to consider it. They're looking to at least leave Viku alone up towards short. The AWP, in fact, not too far away from the proceedings over here. I thought the AWP was up towards CT. One is Furlan's there. The other one is on short. And that's a lovely shot, in fact. I didn't expect Furlan to get that, but now has to maybe eliminate Jerry. Split rushes in towards jungle. There's a chance, but for FORZE, it might be a slim one.
Oh, Flit now. It's all on his shoulders. He's found the AWP, though. That's the important kill. Has info on the second Deagler, but with the bomb on his back, where's he going to go? He doesn't have very much time to commit to any other bomb site here. He could have made a critical mistake. There might not be enough time for him to plant anymore. He's thrown the whole round away. Flit, no, what on earth? He changes his mind to go to B. No time left. And Ago are going to get the win.
Oscarish knew he just didn't have to commit there. What a mistake. And what a vital time to also lose, because if FORZE won that, XCOM's money would have been really minimal. And that shot specifically more or less could have shut it down completely. It's 14 to the polls. FORZE with limited money left. And what they've got with it is at least AKs and armor and utility.
How unbelievable is that last round? They just dump all their money into it. Their objective is to empty their bank. That's it. And they come away with the win due to the power of those AWPs. It all starts with that one BAPS push. And from there, it goes from strength to strength. FORZE find the first kill this time. Almost as Deeg deciding it wants a headshot. But MHL on the AWP is ready to deny this mid boost from Flit when it decides to come through.
MHL just wants the timing. That's all he needs. Oscarish, look to your left. There's 2 players there. This is a risk, but they line up. That's the bomb dropped. That shouldn't be happening. MHL, he can't escape. They know where the bomb is now. But for the UMP, there's so much more work to do, and to make matters worse, his sight has been lost.
Oh, it's a nightmare. The SMGs have arrived to support the AWPs now as well. Grubby with the second. Flit tagged down to 3 to deny series points for his opponents, and Fiku's there on the flank. Ago, 1 round away from pulling off the upset in shock fashion here on Mirage. Nobody expected this at the start of the series. What a beautiful play from Oscarish. Perfect aggression, seemingly, from AGO at the perfect times. There's really been the strength of this CT side.
And if FORZE want to look maybe towards Dust 2, well, they've got to get a good 8 rounds first. Well, specifically 7 for overtime. A lot more work has to be on. Z-Power with, in fact, some aggression to maybe catch someone off guard, but XCOM Ego, no, they don't have to push mid. They don't have to look in that direction. In fact, the AK is a winner on the CT end of things. Fiku finds Z-Power. There's your T-Orpa gone.
A nightmare scenario for FORZE. They fight back 4 versus 5 now. Stay in the running. Missed the timing on Furlan, but the repeat's good enough to find him. MHL's flashed off the angle, almost a spamming with the Deagle, but it can't find him in the end. And this flank from Fico is big. Gets Jerry down in the round. Flitten face crack, all to save FORZE. And it's all on the Deagle. A ramp in the 1v3. 2 players low, just 1 bullet away from death. Bomb on his back, but position given away. Now it's Ago. They try and deny. They stand out. The spam does not come through. And in shock upset fashion, the Polish players pull off the upset.